Coming up next, a local pastor meets with President Obama.
Yeah, Pastor Miles McPherson from the Rock Church in Point Loma. He's here to tell us about the annual Easter breakfast that he and his wife were invited to. There they are with President Obama. I'll hear about his White House experience when we come back.
You're watching News 8 at 6.
And welcome back to you. A big honor for a Point Loma pastor and his wife getting to meet President Obama this week at the White House. Miles and Deb McPherson from the Rock Church have just returned to San Diego after attending an Easter breakfast hosted by the president himself. Pastor Miles joins us now to share his White House experience. Miles, thank you for being here this morning.
My pleasure.
Good Friday today. Happy Easter this weekend.
Same to you.
So let's talk about that, and we have some pictures which we're going to show. You and your wife were, I believe it was about 150 people that were special invites to the White House for this Easter breakfast. What did you tell me about when you heard we're going to the White House? What was that like?
It was actually, I thought it was a joke because I got the invitation and it had no name. It just said, you know, give us your social security number and your date of birth.
Do you know how they? So you don't know how they chose you?
Well, I met the head of the faith-based initiatives for the president at a conference on volunteerism. So I was telling about the volunteerism we do here in the city, that we gave 230,000 hours of volunteer service. So he said, I think he wants you to come to the White House.
Look at that. Mm-hmm. So what you've been doing in San Diego has made its way to Washington, D.C. Hey, do we have the picture? Can we show the picture of Miles and his wife in the White House? Or if we have. Okay, so there's you. This is outside the East Room. Is that correct?
You know, I don't know what room that was. That's where the food was.
Okay. Well, here's you, and that's your wife to the left, and that's you meeting President Obama, right? Your first president?
First president.
So you have a few precious seconds that you actually get to interact and have this one-on-one, and I know you're a thoughtful guy because I know you. What did you say to him? Do you remember?
You know, we said hello, introduced my wife, told him we were praying for him, and then I kind of ribbed him about his love for basketball and that he's got to give football some love, and we just joked about that because it was very brief and there were a lot of people talking to him at the same time. Mm-hmm. And then we just took a picture as a group. He went from table to table to table and took pictures with the entire table, so that was what we were setting up for right there.
Yeah, I mean, I know you represent something much bigger than yourself and the 13 or 14,000 people that go to the Rock. The president obviously represents the entire United States, so I know you probably had been thinking the entire plane right there, like, what am I going to say? You probably knew, I'm going to meet him at some point or get some kind of like interaction. Yeah,
and you don't know what you're going to say because in the moment, there's things happening in the room, yeah. And so we did think about a lot of things to say, but you know, once you get there, you don't want to start, you know, promoting yourself, whatever.
So I heard you say first president.
First president.
And President Obama is the nation's first black president. Mm-hmm. Did you give some thought to? I don't know. Maybe I'll leave the question at that. What's your thought? You know.
Well, at the time when he was elected, of course, it was a big deal. I mean, in my life growing up, race relations has changed since I was a kid. When I grew up, I lived in a black neighborhood and went to school in a white neighborhood, and it was definitely a street that divided us. Right. Now those lines are more blurred. So
let me ask you this: do you see skin color when you see? Do you say that's the first black president, or you just say that's the president?
You know, I absolutely. When people say that they don't see color, I think it's a very ignorant statement because I see that you're Caucasian. Mm-hmm. And you see someone who's Asian, and what we need to do is appreciate the differences. Like God made us all the different shades of one color, which is brown. But when he made a rose, you appreciate a rose, you appreciate a tulip. Right. So we should appreciate our differences.
It's an honor, I think, to meet any president, whether you agree with their politics or not. But how do you address maybe differences in beliefs that you may have? Or did you give that any thought?
With the president?
Sure.
No, we didn't. I mean, you're talking about 2 seconds. Right. 2 seconds. You know, you don't want to jam a guy up right there.
Like, hey, president. Yeah, right.
Yeah, so it was really just to meet him, to say hello, and again, he was speaking to so many people at the same, one after another. So you just want to shake his hand, tell him we're praying for him. I told him I was praying for him, and he appreciated that and expressed that.
Well, today's Good Friday, Easter this weekend at the Rock. You want to just tell everybody what's going on?
We have 2 services tonight. We're going to have Anthony Evans, who just sang on The Voice on television.
Oh, okay.
And then we'll have 2 services tonight, 5 and 7. Tomorrow, 5 and 7, Saturday.
Saturday,
and 5 on Sunday. And then we'll actually have 16 services.
Then you take a big nap on Monday.
Yeah, and we have a bunch up in North County. So if they go to sdrock.com, they can get information on services in Point Loma and in San Marcos, and also online, live stream. You can watch it.
Stream it live.
sdrock.com/live.
All right. Pastor Miles McPherson, thank you for being here.
It was my pleasure.
Good to see you. Good Friday, and happy Easter to you.
Thank you.
All right. And there are actually Easter services going on all around the county this weekend here in San Diego. And if you want to find one maybe near your home, if the Rock isn't convenient, or the live stream Miles was talking about, there's a list here. And we've also have a post on our website at cbs8.com. Just click on the hot button. We'll be right back.